Hello, everybody. Happy Wednesday. I love that, like, right here, the only word you see is but. So we're gonna put that down. It's actually but first coffee because I need my mojo to start the day. But I'm getting on here today with my friend Krista, and my hair is a hot mess as always, and everything else. So let me give this a second to get her on. If you're watching the replay, comment replay. Let us know that you were here. Ask questions. Feel free to comment and ask as we go. But I'm inviting my friend Krista on here, and this is going to be live streaming via Krista's page as well. And so, hang on, let me get her on. And watch, it's going to blow me up really big. So, but's going to be the only word on the screen too. Hello.
Hi.
Hey, how are you?
Good. How are you? Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you fine. I need to adjust because all you see is butt and then you see my eyes. So
Okay, great.
I'm like,
and I know
I knew this was going to happen. That's okay. I'll lean
and
back.
I know better than wearing black because it makes me so washed out, but I did it anyway. So I don't even have another shirt in here. So.
It is what it is, right? Whatever. You guys, that's the beauty. That's the beauty of what we do. Look at, we can look like this and do make some extra money and help people. It's awesome.
Yes.
Okay. So today I have Krista on with me, and if you're on Krista's page, I'm Lauren, and we're going to just drop a little bit of knowledge on some product education, and then I wanted Krista really quickly to talk about, she's a full-time realtor. So she has a full-time job that she's been doing, and this is something that she came into not that long ago, right, Krista? Like, how many months have you been with the company?
4 full months.
Four. Amazing.
Yeah.
She's done unreal things in 4 full months, but knowing that, again, you can have multiple streams of income when you have a full-time job. It's amazing. So Krista, can you just give us a little bit, information on that, and then we'll kind of dive into products and things like that.
Yeah. So I will tell you that I kind of fell into social selling, direct sales, network marketing, whatever you want to call it, 6 years ago. Did not mean to, it just kind of happened. And at that time, I was a teacher. I had been a teacher for 12 years. Yeah, there you go. So that was my full-time gig, right? And so I knew from the very beginning that if I wanted to be able to make both of them work, I had to learn to be extremely intentional with my time. And that looks like finding little bitty pockets. And so often I hear people tell me, I just don't have time. I'm working 3 jobs, this, that, I've got kids. The thing is, there's a lot of free time that we waste. There's no other way to put it. We just waste, right? And so, so after a little while, I learned to time block. And so I would literally, and it started at the beginning, very like structured so that I could figure it out. I literally took a Google Calendar and I time blocked every single minute of my day. It didn't always go as planned, right? But I down to, this is my time for devotion in the morning. This is my time for coffee. This is my time to work out. This is family time. This is lunchtime. I literally blocked everything out. And it was amazing that when I did that, there was a lot of time left at the end of the day that it was like, well, I've done everything now, because I wasn't filling it with random or sitting and scrolling or getting lost in a rabbit trail somewhere. So I did that for a few years. I left teaching, went into corporate marketing, still was able to continue to do that, even being in a corporate position. And then COVID hit and I lost my job. And so for the first time as an adult, I was unemployed. And very quickly, my what was my side hustle became my full-time income. And so it was in that moment that I knew I would never go back to having one source of income or stream of income ever again, because it was then
I think COVID taught a ton of people that have to have those supplemental or secondary incomes or multiple streams of income, whatever that may be. Hundreds.
Right. It was scary, but thankfully that was there. And so long story short, in that time, I used my time. I went to school, got my real estate license. I've been doing that. It has been phenomenal.
I was going to say, best time to do that.
I really did. But it's been great. And then I decided, shoot, why not shake up my life a little bit more? And I'm going to leave what I had built and come on over to Trinant. And again, very scary moment, but I knew that even though real estate is a huge passion of mine and it is going so well, again, there's unknowns. You never know what can happen. And I don't want to ever be in a position where I am left like, okay, now what do we do? Right. And so I do wholeheartedly believe in having multiple streams of income. And I wholeheartedly believe that you can do it. I've got a lady on my team now, a dear, dear friend of mine, and she's not only a full-time teacher, she's a full-time photographer, like very well-known photographer, does senior pictures, family pictures, I mean, everything. And she has 4 kids. So she's able to do it, and she is just running like crazy, again, because she's super intentional with her time. I mean, I remember being a teacher and waking up at 4:30 in the morning just so I knew I had time to do the things I needed to do before I got ready and got my kids up. And then I'd go to the bathroom on my off time, and I would literally be in the bathroom, going to the bathroom really quickly, trying to message, going over here, eating my lunch, like trying to fit it into the small little bitty chunks during the day. That's all you have to do is just be intentional with your time. And it is 100% doable.
I will say, as a teacher too, like from being a past, like we plan for our days. That is what we do. So we do time block. That's in our brains. But when you can use your time intentionally, it is amazing what can occur, again, with other streams of income. And I'm not even just talking, what Krista and I are doing. I mean, there's other ways too. Like there's people doing affiliate, there's people doing, social selling in other ways. There's people doing investment, things like that. I saw a quote that was like, if you can't make additional income in your sleep, you're doing something wrong, right? Like
Absolutely.
You want to make sure that whatever you're bringing, because like you said, like 2020 hit, it taught us all that life can happen and change like that. I mean, things have happened to people throughout this past year that has taught that even more, right?
Yeah.
So I'm just so glad you said it, because it's so true. People will say, Lauren, how do you have so much time to do all this? Or how do you get it all in? I use my time intentionally. I don't watch 3 hours of TV a night, I can't tell you the last time I watched a show, but that's my doing, and that's okay. And for Krista, I love that, you jumped into a market of real estate that right now you've probably been the busiest you could possibly be. And you're still able to do this little side gig or side hustle, whatever you call it,
Yeah. It literally is just training your brain. And we all have the same amount of hours, right? Like we know that. That's like, we all have the same amount of hours a day. It's whatever. But for me, it's like like I used to just sit and drink coffee and just, watch my TV, do whatever. I'm usually now drinking my coffee, responding to messages, answering things before I sit down to check in and turn my real estate brain in and check on emails, call with builders, meet with clients, things like that. Then today I went and dropped a survey off. I did the different things I need to do, contacted a builder, settled something with inspection, did all those things, taking a break. This is my lunch. I'm going live. We'll go finish doing other things. So it's like, you can make those things happen. It's literally just figuring out where those are and what's important to you, right? Like we're not saying, take away all the fun, don't ever watch TV, don't ever do things. So we're not saying that. It's just, what can you give up in order to get something started so that you have that financial comfort?
Right. And that's what I was going to say. And you guys have to understand, in the beginning of anything, when Krista started real estate, when you start a new business, in the beginning of anything, you have to dedicate more time and energy to it so that it pays off later on. Because you better believe, the beauty of this for both her and I is that it's actually, even though we might be right now doing a little bit more work, the beauty is we're freeing up time in the future to have with our family, go on vacations whenever we want. We can work from anywhere. Chris, just like you, I can just cancel what I have this afternoon and go take the kids somewhere else. I have that luxury to do that now, right? So that's something that's really, really, really huge when people do say oh, I'm too busy for something, or I just don't think I have enough time, or you do. Everyone has the same 24 hours in your day. It's just what you want to do with it, right? And
absolutely.
For us, I know with you, me and you are the same in terms of we hustle. We want to make sure that we are doing, whether it be our full-time, our, parents, or if it's the side hustle, whatever it is, we do it to the fullest potential. So
absolutely.
That being said, we want to also share with you just some product information knowledge. Why did I come over to this company? What drew us in to leave something that we had known for so long, okay, and really didn't have to do much work at all in it anymore, and to leave and come over and start something new, right? So Krista, what let's dive into some products, and tell them why you, I know on your end I can share too, but why did you look at this company and say, all right, I think that would be a great one to start with?
Yeah, so there's a few different reasons, just like we've talked about 2020, for everybody for a loop, right? It was in that time where a lot of things that I had struggled with my whole life since I was a child started to make themselves known again and show up again. I think because routines were different, lifestyles were different, shoot, I was at home 24/7. We weren't eating the same way we used to eat. We weren't, I wasn't able to go to the grocery store and get the things I want all the time. So long story short, things started to pop up again, gut health issues that I started to have. I was diagnosed with attention deficit disorder when I was a child and was on medicine for a long time, even into my adult years. Yep. And being at home and having to figure out, okay, I have a family here. I've got to school my children. I've got to go to school myself because I was going to school at that point, right, to get my real estate license. I'm starting with, I've got to do all these things. Like, how do I actually make this happen? Because my brain is in 75 places at one time. And I couldn't focus. I couldn't do it. And it would get to the point where it's like this rabbit hole of, or this hamster wheel of, I felt like I was going and going and going, but not accomplishing anything, to where you go to bed at night and you're like, what the heck? Like, I literally didn't do anything. And then it makes me want to be less productive the next day, because I'm like, well, shoot, I'm not getting anywhere, right? So it was like this weird, rough patch. And I was like, I've got to figure something out. Something has to give, something has to change. And it was like a God thing, like literally at the exact same time I'm struggling with all these things, in comes Bree with these products, and I start seeing her going live on the business side of it at the same time. And my, skeptical side of my brain is like, okay, sure. Yep. Okay. Yep. I've heard it. Yep. This is great. Yeah. And I'm like turning it down. Like, I don't even want to listen. Don't want to listen. But I'm like, okay, these products actually sound like they could be something that will help me. So let me try these. Right. And I will tell you, oh my gosh, I read ingredients. I looked up what's in them. We try really hard to eat Whole30 as much as possible. I will tell you, I love my chips and queso margaritas, which is not Whole30 whatsoever, but we try, we try really hard. And so for me, I didn't want to put a bunch of synthetics. I didn't want to put a bunch of stuff into my body. And my husband, who went to school for kinesiology and is a coach and very into that, was like, for our whole marriage, we've been together 16 years, was like, no supplements. Anytime I bring up, hey, let's try, no, we don't do supplements. We don't do that because your body doesn't need it. You eat right, you work out, that's how you stay healthy, right? So when I saw this, I was like, I've got to do some research. Otherwise, this is like going to be a no-go. And so I did. I tried the Mojo first, the coffee, and I will tell you that it was like literally that one cup of coffee that just completely changed everything. In that day, I remember I drugged this huge wool, Pottery Barn rug out of my dining room that I'd wanted gone forever, rolled it up, drug it out of the house myself, cleaned the whole floors, cleaned the whole house, did all the laundry, got my school done for the day. And I remember I'd mopped myself kind of into a corner, and my husband called, and he's like, what are you doing? And I kind of went through what I'd been doing. He's like, where's my wife? Like, what is going on right now?
Get on those supplements, whatever.
Yes. And so it was literally in that moment that he was like, I don't care what it is, order it, do it. It's like, you need this, right? And so the more we started researching it, and then I started taking the gut enzymes, and I started to do all these other things and started to see this change in all of the things that I was struggling from. And I was like, in those moments, it's life-changing. There's no other way to describe it other than everything falls into place when you can focus, when you feel good, when you're not foggy, when you're not emotional, like everything falls into place. And so then to get him on board, and now he takes all of the products, and it's just been such a life-changing thing from a product standpoint, because of how they are made, and that there are no synthetics, and there's none of that junk that's gonna, it might fix this, but then you're gonna have this too, right? Like, that was always my problem. If it fixed my focus, I had stomach issues, right? If it fixed my stomach issues, I had other issues, migraines, all these things. So it was that, and then it was like my little antennas popped up, and what Bree was sharing about from the business side, I was like, okay, I just have to look. I have to look. I have to listen. And trust me, I did everything I could. I Googled. I tried to find YouTube videos. I'm like, this cannot be real. Like, something is not right. This just is too good. And it is what it is. Like, it's not too good. I couldn't find anything that made me feel like, don't do it. So anyways, we jumped in full force. We jumped in mid-February, but started running full force in March. And it's been a whirlwind.
Well, and you know what's amazing, you guys, is like, Krista, again, it's only been 4 months, and what she's been able to accomplish in 4 months, and the people she's been able to help. I mean, that's the biggest thing, you guys. The people she's been able to help, it's amazing. And we've all been there. I mean, you guys who are watching, I know you've been there. You've been there saying, that can't be possible. How can those supplements be any better than what's out there? Blah, blah, blah. Well, that's what I want to inform you about. That's what I want you to understand. And when you said, Krista, about you know, the business side, and you were seeing Bree. Here's the deal, you guys. When you are somebody too, like we had shared in the beginning, we work hard. We work hard at everything we put our minds to, whether it be teaching, whether it be real estate, whether it be being a parent, whether it be a side hustle, whatever it may be. We are people that are going to put our mind. But when you see an opportunity, okay, when you see something that has phenomenal products, along with a compensation plan that literally pays you the right way for what you're doing, it's one of those things that, again, I mean, as a person of business and as a person of knowing that I want to provide, you know, other streams of income, you see that and you're like, wow, like this is something that if I pass up, I did just pass up an amazing opportunity. Okay.
Right.
And sometimes, you guys, like that is too, you really do need to hear more. You really do. And like Krista said, she looked into more. I did. You guys, you all know, if you're on my end, I research like crazy. Okay. And that was the biggest thing. Product ingredients. Bree even said, she's like, Lauren always said, like, product ingredients are the biggest thing. So here's the deal. The Mojo coffee you had talked about, right? Yeah. Like that is something that really gave you that like go to be able to go the whole day. And for us, especially as we time block and we fill in our day with nonstop going, that's something that I know that a regular coffee wasn't doing for me. Okay.
Nope.
So when I had looked into the ingredients of this, I understood way more why this was doing it. Okay. Having 100% Brazilian beans is wonderful. That's a great coffee. But then there's added plant-based nutrients in there. And the plant-based nutrients in there literally are filling your brain with, there's green tea leaf extracts in there to fill your brain with serotonin and dopamine levels that literally, like, I don't know, Krista, about you, but like for me, I literally feel better. I literally feel better when I'm drinking my cup of coffee. And it's not just because I'm not sitting in quiet and peace doing that.
No, never. No, my husband will walk in and he can tell, and he'll be like, have you not drinking your coffee yet? I'm like, okay, rude, but no.
Right? That's how mine is with the CBD. He's like, go chill out, go take that.
Yeah.
But that's the cool thing, you guys. There's added plant-based nutrients into that coffee. So you're getting the mood boosters. You're getting, actually, there's a natural appetite suppressant too. So a lot of people have seen like their weight, I'm not saying it drops drastically, but their weight has been able to either, they have lost weight, or they've been able to maintain and eat right and eat healthier. You're not eating those crappy snacky meals or those big full, crap meals, because your body's fuller longer and you're burning calories as you go. There's also long-lasting sustainable energy, you guys. So with the plant-based properties that are in there, there's not synthetics, right? So when you go, and go get those $6 lovely lattes that a lot of people like to go get, you feel that crash. You don't feel this with that. Like by 3 o'clock, I'm still ready to rock and roll when I've had my, like, it's awesome. So, and there is, you guys, I always share too, like there is chocolate. There's people out there who are like, I am not a coffee drinker. That's why we have a chocolate option, which is awesome. And you drink the coffee, right?
I drink the coffee. I'm a coffee. I mean, I would say a half a pot a drinker a day. I literally would make a full pot. My husband would take some to work, and I would drink the rest of it. And I would have all day. I mean, by 2, 3 o'clock, I'd still have a cup of coffee with me because it never like kicked in. It was like I was constantly trying to like get my brain going. 1 cup now. I've literally never drinking more than 1 cup, and I am a huge coffee drinker. But I've got customers and friends who do the chocolate, and a lot of them do it iced. So either as like with their protein or just an iced, shake in the morning. And they love that. I just am a big coffee person. So
totally. So, so the Mojo, that's one that's huge. And so for your end, Krista, I want to share with them, like, and I don't know if you take it, but the CBD line. Okay.
Every day.
So every day. Perfect. So for me, Krista's story was she had tried some of these products when she had seen Bree post about them. And for me, I actually, and when you said like, it's a God thing, I'm telling you, I feel the exact same way, because I always share this with people, but I was suffering through postpartum anxiety, and you come off of a pandemic where my anxiety levels were through the freaking roof. I literally had seen one day in my worst moment about this CBD whole flower fluid. And I'm like, I've heard about CBD for years, you guys, like I was one of those skeptics for sure. People would tell me, like, joke with me, Lauren, go take a gummy, like chill out. And I wouldn't, never did. I never taught nothing. And so when I had seen that day, I always say there was a reason I was supposed to see it. There really was. And so when I had gotten that was the thing that I had said, okay, I'm going to try. I'd given it to my dad for his back pain, and he'd been suffering through back pain for years, like 30 plus years. And when he had said that, wow, this is actually helping, that's when I was like, all right, if it can help somebody of 30 years of back pain to feel some relief at all, then all right, I'm going to try for my anxiety. And to this day, my husband will still say, like, Lauren, okay, you're stressed out. You need to go relax and go take your CBD whole flower fluid. Like that, you know, that hands down. And you guys, the deal is because it's a whole flower fluid, it is totally different than a CBD oil out there. Totally different. Yeah. So I'll give you more info, but Krista, why do you specifically take it?
Yeah, so I honestly never had trouble sleeping. Never have. My husband's always joked like he's so jealous how quick I fall asleep and I sleep and there's never been an issue.
So reverse. My husband's a fast one, not me.
Well, but then my whole family ended up getting COVID. And it was during COVID that I started to get this like almost like you're pregnant. I don't know if this happened to you, but I would get like these restless leg almost like where could not drive me literally like I felt like I was insane. Like I couldn't stand it. Well, when I got COVID, that would happen in the middle of the night. Like I'd be laying there and it was like these like, I don't know, jolts of like, it must have been something nerve-wise in my body. It was so weird. And I couldn't sleep. And it was like, it was awful. Well, COVID went away. We're fine. That would still happen all the time. So when I started with these products and got the CBD, I was like, okay, this has got to work. This has got to help me sleep. Like I'm going to try anything because I tried melatonin. Makes me feel like crud the next day. And I was even taking the thing and breaking it into pieces to take the smallest part I could get into my body. Felt like as though I hated it. And so I was like, I've got to find something. So that's when I started taking it. And I'm telling you what, like I literally, even last night, I told my husband when I woke up, I was like, I don't even think I moved. Like I woke up in the same position that I remember falling asleep in. I sleep like a baby. It is a game changer. And then the spray I keep with me before I go into Costco or something where I know I get really frustrated, really easy. And then my oldest son takes the spray right before he goes to school. And we're in summer now, but before he would go to school, he would take it. Yeah. And I wanted to kind of see, you know, both of my kiddos are diagnosed with dyslexia, and they're not diagnosed with ADHD or ADD, but a lot of times those two go hand in hand. Yep. And we've just never had them, you know, diagnosed for it. So anyways, he'll get, my oldest, when he feels like he can't do something or something is really hard for him, instead of like asking for help or whatever, he tends to like act out or do something silly. I think it's to take the attention off the fact that he can't read, he can't do, you know, whatever he's supposed to be doing. And so I gave it to him. And the first time I gave it to him, because it's flavored, like, you know, organic mint and cinnamon, I was like, oh, it's just a mouth spray. And he loves that stuff. So he took it, no big deal. So I did it for a few days before school. And then I asked him, I said, hey, when you use that spray that I've been giving you, do you feel any different? Does it do anything? And he goes, you know, I kind of feel less stressed. And to me, that was him telling me, like, it was taking his brain that's over, like an overdrive, trying to process and do all these things and chilling it out a little bit. You know, he's still a 9-year-old boy. He's still going to act like a fool sometimes, right? But yeah, it just kind of helped him.
But Krista, that's what's so amazing is you guys, there are so many kids. I mean, me as I was a kindergarten teacher. What did you teach?
First grade.
Okay, that's so great. So I saw kids get on medication for ADHD, for ADD, okay? It completely changed the child, completely. Yep. And everyone has to do what's best for them. But I'm telling you what I had witnessed and saw as a teacher, and it had completely changed the child. And the parents hated it. They hated having their kids on there. So knowing that we have had so many children have such amazing success with something that is completely plant-based is unreal. And so what makes this so different, you guys, is again, it's a whole flower fluid. So like I have my plant there. I always like love to show, like you are getting plant to bottle, cold press extracted. So like you think of fresh squeezing oranges to orange juice, right? Like you are getting the most organic form of that plant. And in the drops, you are just getting that. Like, you know, when you've had the drops, you are like, yep, okay, that's an organic plant right there because it's strong, you know? And like Krista said, 2 drops and it doesn't put me to sleep. It just eases my mind that when I go to bed, I'm asleep till the morning. I am literally, there's mornings where I wake up and I'm like, how is it 7 o'clock? Like, I can't even believe that I slept, you know, right through. And my kid sleeping next to me, I didn't even know he came into bed. So, you know, and that's something that truly I would wake up. My husband always jokes with me, Lauren, God, you wake up at the set, like you hear everything. Not when I take that. Let me tell you, I hear my kids if I need to, and I go right back to bed. So the spray then is like Krista said, it has the cinnamon, it has the mint, and it has a little flavoring to it so that kiddos can, and anyone else who can't take, you know, the flavoring of a strong plant, it does help with that. But the spray too is really awesome because I'm sure for you, Krista, like on the go. Throw it in my bag, traveling, like that gives me stress to travel with my kids. It's good to go. You know,
it's always in my purse. Always, always.
Yep. So let's do like two more. Let's see if two more products that you like feel like you consistently take and have really helped change in your life.
Yeah, so I'm going to take them all, but I will,
Right.
that's a hard one. So I'll say the gut enzymes, that has been huge for me because I mean, I've gone to doctors my whole life and they've always said, you have IBS. That's their way of telling you, I don't really know what's wrong with you, but like something's wrong, right?
Yep.
So I gave up gluten for 5 years before I had my first son because that was one thing that I was like, okay, maybe this is what it is. That was back when like gluten-free was not a thing. Like there were gluten-free products. It was, you're eating things that are naturally gluten-free, right? So I did that for 5 years. After I had him, I started to introduce it back in. Still had issues. I've been dairy-free minus a few things. Like I said, my queso, cheese, I don't give that up. But like I can't drink milk. I can't do anything like that. So I've gone through all these things. I've even went plant-based for a long time. So I thought, well, maybe it's the meat. Maybe my body's not processing meat. I really think my body just doesn't know how to process a lot of things, right? And so I constantly, oh my gosh, my stomach constantly was bloated. It would hurt. It would get to the point where like I looked pregnant by the end of the day because, I mean, and even at my dentist, it was always that way because my stomach just bloated so much. And, you know, we travel a lot. We love to travel. And it would never fail that the first few days of vacation, I just felt like crud because it's like my body is shocked by different foods I'm eating. And so I couldn't go a day without having stomach pain and stomach issues. And so that right there, I'm telling you, that has been another game changer for me because I can travel. I can eat the things I want. Now I'm still mindful of what I eat, but I know that if there's something I'm about to eat and I know this is going to hurt my stomach, I don't have to worry about it. And just in general, even taking in, you know, the foods that are good for you, taking this with it is helping my body to absorb them. So I'm feeling better. I'm feeling more alert. There was a couple of days, and it was back when my kids were playing football, I remember. So it was in the spring where I honestly just like completely forgot to take them for a few days. I don't even know what my deal was. I don't know. We had so much going on. And I remember one day I was sitting there in the afternoon. I was like, I just don't feel right. Like I feel like a fog. Like I need to go take a nap. And I will tell you, I am not a napper. Naps are not my thing because if I lay down, I better have 5 hours to commit to it. Like I don't do these like, let me lay down. Okay, I'm good. No, that I am angry. I'm not good. Like it's not good. So I was like, I just don't feel right. And I was literally driving my boys to football practice and I was like, oh my God, I know what it is. I have not taken my life. So sure enough, I got back on them that night, started taking them, and it was like this fog just lifted. And it was in that moment that I realized so much of what I had been feeling was coming from my gut. Like it was literally putting me in this funk, and I will never ever I have a little travel like pill bottle now. I keep that full in my purse because I don't ever want to be caught off guard without them. Like they are a game changer.
Yeah. And you know what, you guys, it's so true. Your gut regulates so much of your body. I mean, so much mentally. We have our neurotransmitters there, our hormones, our immune system. Like there is so much that goes on. And anyone can tell you this. If your gut doesn't feel good, like your overall body just doesn't feel good. And feeling bloated and feeling like blah just sucks. It really does. And what's really amazing about the digestive enzymes, you guys, is that they're 100% plant-based. But again, there's no synthetics. And what's amazing about our plant-based line is that we have chelated minerals. So that means that the minerals are wrapped in an amino acid that our body can actually recognize. So when your body is coming in contact with these raw, whole food living enzymes for the digestion of your food, they help to break down proteins, dairy, carbs, sugars, fats, gluten, like you said. Like when it comes in contact with that, I always say, like, I think a little Pac-Man, it's just go, and it's breaking it down for you. But the most amazing part is that your body recognizes those things. They recognize what to do with it. And then on top of, like what Krista said, even if they're eating a good meal, it's then using the nutrients in the right way. So your body is absorbing and taking them in, and your body is then gaining, obviously the health and the benefits that you want out of your food as well. But with that, you have pre and probiotics in there too, which is really cool. Cause that was one of the products actually when I came in that I looked up. I looked through digestive enzymes, you guys, in so many different companies. Nothing came close to this. Nothing. Because of the pre and probiotics in there and because of the raw, whole food living enzymes that are in this one. It's unreal. Absolutely amazing.
Yeah, and my oldest, he actually takes these as well. So I think he's got
Awesome.
my same, I mean, he's my child, right? Like same things. He'll eat certain things and then he's like, oh my gosh, my stomach hurts. And
Yep.
so we had been giving him these like chewable, they're like gas pills, like, the babies, so you do the drops.
Yep.
Both of my kids were on reflux medicine until they were a year old, since they were like 3 months old, because they had like terrible reflux. And I still think they have issues with that. And so we were giving them like the child version of the like Melicon or whatever they're called, the drops. And
Yep.
so I was like, one day I was like, why am I doing, like, try this? And he can swallow pills just fine. And so he did. And now he knows. He just comes in and goes, hey, Mom, where's the enzyme? And I'll go get it down and give him, like, he just tells me he doesn't eat it every meal, but just when something's upsetting him,
Right.
he'll take it. And it's,
and they're safe for your kids. You guys, what's really crazy is that there are a lot of these, medications and things. And again, everyone does what's best for them, but there are a lot of them that then in turn, over time, they affect your liver, they affect your kidneys, all of that stuff, and again, so when you're throwing into your body, why not try something natural to give your body what it needs, and that's something that we talk about a lot in this company is like, we don't just want to put a Band-Aid over things, but we really want to get to the root cause and give, nature what it does to fulfill our bodies is really amazing. And when you give your body what it needs, it's amazing what tends to happen then, right? And I know myself, Krista, I don't know about you, but like I was starting with, when I first started the digestive enzymes, I was taking, more, and now I don't need as many. I still take them every day, but I only do a day, like
yes. Cool. I was literally taking 3 of them at every single meal because I was like, I need something. Something's not, and I take 1 unless it's like, if it's, because I do intermittent fasting. So like even my first meal of the day is usually really small. So I'll take 1 and then usually 2. And I only ever take 3 if it's like, again, queso, come back to the queso. We know that's going to like mess me up. So I'll take it then. But other than that, I don't have to take 3 at every meal anymore.
Amazing. Amazing. I love that. All right, you guys. So, I mean, I don't want to keep them forever because I know people are like totally tune out, but you guys, we shared with you only three of our like high impact, amazing products. And we have so much more. So obviously if you are on Krista's line or my line, wherever you're watching from, reach out to us. We can give you more information about these. We can also share with you again when we shared why we decided to partner with this company. We can share that with you as well. And you can get way more information. I always say, like, it's one thing to just see a post and then scroll through, but message somebody, really learn about what's going on and why there's such a difference, right?
Yeah. And the cool thing is, like, I know your personality, my personality, and the way that this company works, like, you should, I think sometimes people are scared, like, I don't want to ask because then, like, if I don't commit to it or if I decide I don't want, oh, great, awesome. Our only goal is to literally give you what you need to decide if it is for you, if this product will work for you, if this company would work for you. It's not we just want it's not going to work for everybody. And that's okay. Like, everybody is different. So it's just a matter of get the information so that that's all I did at the beginning. I know that's all you did. Like, just do that research, get that information. Let us point you in the right direction or get you on one of our overview calls or something so that you can learn and decide for yourself if you want to try something more.
Totally. And, just really quickly to close, but you guys, when we shared in the beginning, if you watch the replay, we shared in the beginning of like why Krista and I were able to do this and the time that we used to do it. Here's the coolest part too. If you are somebody who is like, wow, I would love to partner with either one of them. Like, here's the deal. We give you so many tools to be able to do this and be able to share. And we have training that we are able to get our hands on from the doctors and the scientists on our scientific advisory board and from corporate. And that's what's so amazing. You're not like left out in the dust and you have to fend for yourself and learn it all on your own. Like, just
absolutely.
Like, you are trained, you are helped, and it's all on your own time.
Absolutely. There's nothing, and I've been elsewhere, you guys, there's nothing more simple than it is here. You put in the work, but it is simple systems. Everything is right there for you. So you're not ever, left to have to be the expert or left to have to know it all. Ever.
Yep. Well, you guys, thank you guys so much for watching. And again, if you have more questions, of course, you can comment or reach out to us and we're happy to answer. So thanks for popping on, girly.
Thank you for having me.
See you.
Bye.